What's up, everyone? Welcome into Dodger Heads, presented by DodgerBlue.com. My name is Jeff Spiegel, and today we're talking a little bit about some comments that President Andrew Friedman made recently about the Dodgers' offseason plans. Obviously, the talk now is about Justin Turner, Liam Hendricks, Trevor Bauer. There's all sorts of names. But whenever Friedman has spoken, he's kind of honed in on a couple things. And if you check out DodgerBlue.com, we've got sort of a full spectrum of his comments. But there was one thing in particular that I wanted to talk about, which was his mention of the need for a right-handed bat. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Justin Turner is right-handed. He plays a position we need. And Friedman has made clear that they want to bring Justin Turner back, but essentially said, hey, we wanted to let him and his wife explore free agency. And if it doesn't work out, if they find something else better out there than what the Dodgers can offer, then the Dodgers have plans in place. So if they were to go after a right-handed bat, the first thing you're thinking is, well, it would be a third baseman, right? Like it would be somebody to replace Turner. But this is what was most intriguing to me is Pedro Mora has this in The Athletic, but basically he says, we feel good about where we're at third base. He mentioned Edwin Rios as somebody everyone assumes, but Chris Taylor and Max Muncy as well, both as options for third base. And then he continues to say, basically, all we're looking for is a right-handed bat. What position he plays is not that important. And that makes sense, right? Because if Muncy, they think, is capable of playing third, or if Taylor is capable of playing third, then all of a sudden, first base, second base, even left field are all options for places a right-handed bat could get playing time. Now, who are these right-handed bats? Obviously, Justin Turner is the number one priority. He is a right-handed bat. He plays third base. They're familiar with him. They like his leadership. But if Turner were to go elsewhere, there's probably one or two other names worth looking at. Again, we're talking about the Dodgers, so this is a team that would only be looking at the top of the market. They're not looking for role players. The name I've mentioned before that Jeff Passan has mentioned, the Dodgers have kicked the tires on, is DJ LeMahieu. And he would be perfect, obviously, as a right-handed bat, but he plays every position I just mentioned. He can play first, he can play second, he can play third, he can play it competently. And this is a guy who's been an elite MVP level candidate 2 years in a row with the Yankees. Of course, the downside to him is it's probably going to be a long contract. It's probably going to be an expensive contract. One other interesting name that has just sort of surfaced, again, Passan noted, he didn't say the Dodgers have expressed interest, but kind of hinted a team that might make sense for this guy is the Dodgers, which is Marcus Semien, okay? Shortstop for the Oakland A's. This is a guy who 2 years ago had an unbelievable season. It was the best offensive season, really the only great offensive season of his career. But this is another guy. He could play shortstop, second base, third base, probably. Provide some good defense, kind of just an all-around player without necessarily spiking the needle. But if the Dodgers like the right-handed bat, if they think maybe the 2019 wasn't as much of a fluke, he's a guy that's probably going to be the discount version of DJ LeMahieu. You could probably get him for 2 or 3 years, $12 to $15 million a year. So if the Dodgers wanted to go that route, they could. He would provide some insurance if they were to strike out in the shortstop market a year from now. Obviously, we're all hoping that Corey Seager is the long-term answer there. But if he were to leave and the Dodgers were to be left, Semien would give them some insurance there. So the interesting thing to me is twofold. A, the Dodgers have continued to say we prioritize signing a right-handed bat and said Justin Turner is the top option. To me, the most interesting piece of this is that they trust a guy like Muncy potentially at third. They trust Chris Taylor at third. They trust Edwin Rios at third, and that gives them the option to look at a right-handed bat if Turner were to go elsewhere that isn't specifically a third baseman. So is there a right-handed bat that I haven't mentioned out there that you like? Let us know below. How would you feel about a big contract for DJ LeMahieu or a sort of a bargain bin, middle-of-the-road version for Marcus Semien? Let us know below. We appreciate you, as always, checking us out. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will talk to you soon.